Hello, today I'm going to talk about my African fat-tailed gecko, Plurp. She has gone through many sheds in her life, and I wanted to go over what to look for and how shedding can look, because it's not something you see very often with geckos. Usually they hide when they do it. They'll do it at night because that's when they are the most active. I'm including footage of Plurp showing her beginning to shed. You'll see that her scales look very white and then almost a loose look to them. And she'll spend some more time in her hide before she does it, and sometimes during. And then you'll see that she'll rub against rocks or rough surfaces in the enclosure. So it's important to have areas that are rougher. I have a hide that has some rough sides to it that she can rub against, and she does this when she sheds. I used to have a tile underneath where the hide was. I now have it replaced with a slate bottom, but the tile would often catch little bugs underneath it. They'd go and hide under there if she didn't get them right away. So that's removed. This is an older video of her shedding, but it's really neat because you can see the general process of what they go through and how they do it. So, fun fact, if you didn't know, geckos will often eat their shed, and one of the reasons they do that is in the wild they don't want to leave any trace of where they have been, because if there's any predators, then they will be able to find their scent. I'm guessing their scent, but they can also see the evidence of where they've been. So that's a reason why they eat the shed. The other thing is that there's a lot of nutrients in it. So that's also very helpful. When they eat their shed, it's like a meal. So it might seem kind of odd, but it's actually very natural and very normal for them. It's kind of neat if you get to see it, and when you see the footage here, you can see how she kind of slinks out of it, almost like she's taking off a shirt or a hoodie. It takes a little bit of time. I got very lucky and was able to get this on video some time ago. Whenever they grow, they shed, and once they're fully grown, they do shed, not as often as they do when they're little. Now, with little geckos, they can get stuck shut on their feet, so it is important to have a humid hide for them. The humid hide will really help them be able to get it off all the way. In these videos, she does not shed in her humid hide. I know that she has because I found evidence of that, but her enclosure was humid enough, and she probably was in her humid hide earlier before she started to pull off the shed. But she has all of her fingers and toes. She has not lost any, and I attribute that to having a good hide. And I got my hide design from another YouTuber, Jessica's Animal Friends. She's really great. She has a lot of leopard geckos, which are similar in appearance, and they're also terrestrial, but this is an African fat-tailed gecko that you're seeing. They're a little bit different. They need a little bit higher humidity. But the humid hide that I have in mine is just like hers. I saw her make it once in a video, and I found it was really smart. My gecko likes to use it also as a toilet, unfortunately. But the nice thing is that I can just, after a while, I can go ahead and throw away the Tupperware container. It's a very clean gecko. If you're not familiar with African fat-tailed geckos, they're really docile, they're adorable, and they're very clean. When they decide where they're going to go to the bathroom, that's where they go. Unfortunately, it's also her humid hide, but fortunately for that, I can clean it up very easily. So her enclosure is very clean. And this is older footage of her when she was shedding, but she's had different things in her enclosure. She's had a dig box. She's had a fake wall that she decided to climb on and go behind a couple times, so I took that away. But I've changed it up here and there, and she's very active in the mornings and evenings. They're what you call a crepuscular gecko. And finally, you'll see pictures of Plurp after the shed. She looks very bright and healthy. And then you'll see a couple pieces of shed. There's a little hand, another piece, I don't know where it came from, and how clean her toes are. You can see how well she shed through that. So again, it's really important to have the right humidity for your reptile. Different reptiles shed in different ways. African fat tails pull it off in pieces or sometimes in huge pieces. A little bit different than snakes. And just let them do what they got to do. If you have any that's stuck, you want to put them in a humid hide before you try to help them get it off. And if anyone would find this helpful, I can try to make a video at some point. Just leave a comment in the description. And if I have any examples, I can go ahead and throw a video up later. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.